Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits as it should. Seriously, I hope it finds you in great spirits because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that, guys. Another day above the dirt is always a doggone blessing. And man, it is great to be alive. Ain't it though? Ain't it though? But anyway, guys, we got some things that are going on revolving around this case. There's some very interesting things that are going on. And of course, I got a lot of questions because, you know, I like to ask questions. I'm an inquisitive mother lover, just like a lot of y'all are. Okay. Now, a lot of things I'm questioning. Does this lead to a possibility of it being foul play? I don't know yet. We're going to have to talk about that and then some. Because apparently the police screwed up big time. Yeah. The devil's in the details, guys. The devil's in the details. But before we get into everything, please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Do what it do. That would be greatly appreciated. If you are watching on other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, make sure you are hitting that reaction button. Don't forget to hit that follow button over there, okay? Hit that subscribe button here on my YouTube channel. We talk about a lot of stuff that is going on in the world, all right? But we also have another channel called The Pascal Show Clips on YouTube as well. Please make sure you're subscribed over there, okay? Subscribe. Make sure you're fully up to date. Make sure both of those subscribe buttons are hit, but also make sure you hit that notification bell so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because a lot of times it's random. It's most of the time breaking news, and also I just have a crazy schedule. So that's just how it is. Okay, guys? So make sure those notification bells are set to all. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And of course, let's not forget, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. I'm telling you, stuff is fantastic. So go check it out. I guarantee you're going to find something you're going to love over there. All right, guys, we got to get into this conversation. There's a lot going on since the last time we talked about this particular case. And there's a lot of questions, a lot of things that are just not making any sense. All right. Just so that you guys know, just a few days ago, Gene Hackman, legendary actor Gene Hackman, lost his life. He was found in his home along with his wife and one of their dogs, found gone as well. Now, they have other dogs. And in earlier reports, they were saying that these dogs were found in the home. And I think this is a very important piece of information that leads to the conversation that we're about to talk about in regards to the major screw up, the major mistake, or as they say, the major blunder that surrounds this case. Now, some people will look at this and go, so it's just like a little thing. Maybe not. Maybe not, guys. It could be a major thing because there's information in here that just doesn't make any sense. But it also goes to show to you that what is initially said out there in reports isn't always what it seems, isn't always correct. And we've talked about this a million times before on other cases, especially cases that are breaking news, like right then and there. For example, we talked about this. What happened with the collision, the plane collision, mid-air collision that happened in D.C. with the Black Hawk helicopter and the American Airlines regional jet that just randomly collided into each other. There were reports, or at least people were saying online, oh, they found some survivors in the river, right? In the Potomac River and all that, which came out to be absolutely false. There have been other cases that we have covered where we hear, oh, the the person is a certain age, the assailant to a mass tragedy at a high school or something like that. They'll say, oh, the person was such and such, or they were this age, this was their name, and so on and so forth, only to find out that it's been it was completely wrong. And that whatever source that they grabbed and whatever source that they used was absolutely 110% incorrect. But of course, things like this happen. The news be newsing. The media wants to be the first to be out there to give out the information so that they become the reliable source of information surrounding that particular case. Everyone wants to be the first, which I totally understand. I get it. It's a dog-eat-dog world. This is the world that we live in, unfortunately. But we also have to realize that a lot of things, as far as investigations, as far as information, all of that is subject to change over the course of time. We've seen that on countless cases, like the ones I've just mentioned just a second ago, right? And there's been more than just those few that I just mentioned. But there's something that's very interesting, and I'm getting confused. I'm going to be real, okay? First off, I want to say police have admitted that they made a major mistake in this scene, I guess it's a crime scene, but they say that they screwed something up. And trust me when I say this is going to be a lot. This could trickle into something more. Just hear me out and take a look at this title here. Gene Hackman cops, okay? Gene Hackman cops admit huge crime scene blunder, okay? As mystery surrounding actor's demise continues to get deeper and deeper. Again, there's some really bad things in here that could lead to something else that may be like, maybe there was a huge mistake here. And it could be beyond just what we're about to talk about. All right. So it says cops investigating. Let's take a look at this article. Okay. Says cops investigating Gene Hackman and wife's mysterious demise have admitted to misidentifying the dog that was found deceased along with them in their home. Now, there's some information that's in here because we'll probably will be bouncing back and forth. Okay, they misidentified the dog, but there's more to this. There's more to this misidentification. Trust me when I say this. When you look at it, you're like, so what? They messed up the breed of the dog, right? Who gives a damn? Moving on, but there's so much more to this. So before we go into what we hear on one article, let's take a look at Associated Press for a second. Don't worry, we're going back to that other article, but I just want you to see something that's very interesting. There's details in this other article that we're going to read here in a second, not in the Associated Press. That is so weird. That makes no sense. Hold on. So it's more than just misidentifying the dogs or the dog that was found gone in the house. There's more than that. Just hold tight. Hold tight. So Gene Hackman's dog was misidentified. Of course, that's a big mistake. Okay. But at the same time, some people would be like, so it's a big deal to a certain extent. We're going to talk about that. Okay. As of course, mysteries swirl around his demise. Now, remember, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of theories about maybe he ate some bad food. Maybe they all ate some bad food. Maybe there was food that Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy ate that got them sick. And maybe this dog that was found in a kennel in the house, in the bathroom, maybe, just maybe, that dog ate the food. And that food was poisonous, right? Bad food. And that's how they all got taken off this planet. Well, I don't know about all that, but it's a theory nonetheless. I still stand 10 toes down on my theory. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, okay? Just to give you guys a quick reminder of that. I will tell you that what my theory is in a little bit. But of course, the theories are running amok indeed. So let's take a look at this. Authorities misidentified a deceased dog while investigating the demise of Gene Hackman and his wife, pianist Betsy Arakawa, according to a pet care specialist. But there's more to this. There's more to this information, which is so weird that how could they make this? How could they make a mistake like this? Okay. And put the reports out here saying otherwise. Hold on. The couple's German Shepherd named Bear survived along with a second dog named Nikita. Okay. Those two are still alive. But their Kelpie mix, Xena, was the one that passed away, according to Joey Padilla, okay, the owner of the Santa Fe Tails pet care facility that is involved in the surviving dog's care. Okay. The dog that passed away was always attached to Betsy's hip. Okay. They were always attached at the hip. And it was a beautiful relationship. This is what Padilla said in an email statement Tuesday. Xena went from being a returned shelter dog to this incredible companion under Betsy's hand. Now, first off, let me just say this. Let me just say it. Okay, real quick. I said it. Didn't I say it? I said it. First off, if this statement is 100% accurate, and it is a shelter, a rescue dog. Okay, if this is a rescue animal, this was returned, apparently from being a returned sheltered dog, right? And Xena, right? Xena, the one that passed, was always attached at Betsy's hip. I could see something happening going with what my theory is. Okay? Just so you know. I may be right. Again, like I said before, don't we always have a dog? Like for those of y'all who have that are dog owners, okay? And you have more than just one. There's always one that's always attached to your hip or always following you everywhere you go because, you might be a little bit more, lenient with your food, lenient with the treats and all that stuff, right? I'm sure I just said treats and all your dogs went, just now. Like I said, want a treat? I'm just screwing all your dogs up right now. Hey, buddy, you want a treat? They're all going, what? You know what I'm saying? Okay. Can't even say, you want to go outside? No, don't even do that. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So here's the thing. Attached at Betsy's hip, I can see that, hey, this Betsy either was eating something and then all of a sudden she got sick. Let's just say that the poisonous food theory. She ate some food. It got both of them sick. It fell to the ground. The dog doesn't know any better. So he eats the food and then he gets sick. Or, and I'll just say my theory now, Betsy sees Gene gone. She is overwrought with the shock and pain of losing the love of her life. She goes, gets some pills. She takes them. Bad things happen, right? Bad things happen. Pills spill all over the ground and on the counter. And this dog, who is probably the dog that's like the garbage disposal, okay, eats everything that falls on the ground as quickly as possible, ate up some of the pills, and then, of course, passed away with his owners. Okay. So again, that's just my theory. Okay. That's just my theory for right now. Okay. Until we hear anything different. But let's continue on. All right. Let's continue on. So attached to the hip. Okay. Xena went from being, just saying this again one more time. Xena went from being a return shelter dog to this incredible companion under Betsy's hand. So there was love, there was a bonding, and she loved this dog attached at the hip. Just remember that, Okay. Authorities have been searching for answers after the demise of Hackman and Arakawa, whose partially mummified bodies were discovered on February 26th at their Santa Fe home. Hackman and Arakawa may have passed away up to 2 weeks earlier. Okay. And this is what Santa Fe County Sheriff Mendoza said. Okay. Authorities did not perform a necropsy on Xena, who was found in a kennel in a bathroom closet near Arakawa. Okay. A sheriff's office spokesperson said. Investigators initially noted the discovery of a deceased brown in color German Shepherd canine. Now, of course, there's photos of them with their dogs, and of course we see photos of them with these German Shepherds and all that, right? But it is interesting that they misidentified the dog, right? So hold on. Blah, blah. Okay. So Avila acknowledged the sheriff's deputies initially misidentified the breed of the deceased dog. Our deputies, they don't work with canines on a daily basis, she said. U.S. Today first reported on the mistaken identification of the dead dog. Arakawi or Betsy's body was found with an open prescription bottle and pills scattered on the bathroom countertop, while Hackman's remains were found in the home's entryway. The two bodies have tested negative for carbon monoxide. Remember, that was initially the thing that everybody was thinking. Oh, this has to be carbon monoxide poisoning for sure. But like I said, everything's in the details. The devil's in the details. And the fact that they had the dog breed wrong could lead to a potential mistake and oversight on other things as well, right? So, of course, carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas that is a byproduct of fuel burned in some home appliances and can be fatal in poorly ventilated homes. No gas leaks were discovered in or around the home. So on Tuesday, the sheriff's office also said that a more extensive utility company inspection found that one burner on a stove in the house had a minuscule leak that could not be fatal. A minuscule leak that could not be fatal. Authorities retrieved personal items from the home, including a monthly planner and 2 cell phones that will be analyzed. Medical investigators are still working to clarify the cause of demise, but the results of the toxicology reports aren't expected for weeks. This story has been updated to correct the definition of carbon monoxide. Thank you so much for that information. Okay, so again, you see that they misidentified the breed of the dog, which is a Kelpie mix, which I pulled up so that you guys can see this as well. So I can see, well, this is a Kelpie healer mix, right? Just showing you guys a few different mixes of the Kelpie dog. And I can see them looking at the dog and going, oh, that's a German Shepherd. I mean, I get it. If not knowing the breed, I can see that being a mistake. It can happen. It can happen. But if the dog looked like this dog, right? I'd be like, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that's a German Shepherd dog. I see features that are similar, but I wouldn't instantly say, oh, that's a German Shepherd. I'd be like, no, what kind of breed of dog is that? That's something interesting, right? Again, many different mixes of breed of dog. Okay. And so again, very, very interesting nonetheless. All right. But of course, like I said, the dog is not just the misidentification of the dog is not the only thing. If that was an oversight, what are the possibilities of them overseeing, mixing things up, and not getting everything right on the first pass. Like I said, there still could be possibilities of foul play. Again, before everyone goes like, oh gosh, Pascal thinks it's foul play. No, I don't think it's foul play. I really don't think it's foul play. But still, at the same time, that possibility is still on the table. Just because I don't think it is doesn't mean that it can't still be what it is, right? And I've been wrong a billion times in my life, okay? It's a possibility I could be wrong a billion and one times now, right? So I leave everything on the table for the possibility of there being foul play, of it actually being carbon monoxide. They even said, oh, they checked everything and at the surface, okay, at the first pass. We don't see carbon monoxide, right? And I'm going, okay, well then if it's not carbon monoxide, then what the hell happened here? And of course, I think he passed naturally and she didn't. And I don't think the dog passed unknowingly because he's a dog. Xena was a dog, okay? And mistakes happen. And that dog was very curious and thought everything was treats. That's what I think, right? But moving on, here's something that we're going back to that article one more again, because there's some interesting information here that there's some information on this article that still doesn't make any earthly sense to me. All right. Like I said, I wanted to cross-reference. I wanted to make sure, do our due diligence. But there's pieces here that just don't make any earthly sense. You heard about the misidentification of the dog. They had also other things that they screwed up doing in the crime scene, and we're going to get right into it. All right, so we already know that they were found in separate rooms in their $3.8 million home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. But here's the other thing that's very interesting, and let me just blow this up so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Police initially said the couple's German Shepherd named Bear was found. This is the German Shepherd named Bear was found unalive in its kennel inside the home. But here's the part that doesn't make any sense. But the pup was actually alive and healthy at a pet daycare center in Santa Fe, along with the other dog, Nikita, a 7-year-old Akita Shepherd mix, according to US Today. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Did we not read that these dogs were found in the home? One was found outside, chilling in the cut, just living out there, just in a lap of luxury. And then the other dog, according to reports before, was found in the bathroom next to Betsy Arakawa. Did we not talk about that? Did we not? So why would there be reports? This doesn't make any sense, everybody. Like I said, it doesn't make any sense. They got the dog wrong, but then also at the same time, they had reports of the dogs being found in the home, on the property of the home. Now we're hearing something completely different. Hold on. Let me just get this article here too. Hold on. Because this is from USA Today. Let's take a look at this, shall we? Sheriff's office makes error about Gene Hackman's dog in initial report. It's unclear how dog was misidentified in the report. And this is coming from them. So they cross-referenced their information. Daily Mail said, hey, this is where they got it from, right? This is where they got it from. So news of the demise of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa pinged into Sherry Garber's cell phone as text messages from friends. Do you know about this? One friend asked, Garber Hearts, blah, 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 close friends and clients, 5 months. just 5 months earlier, Garber, an animal chiropractor, had run her hands along Bear's fur, adjusting the animal's atlas vertebrae, the topmost vertebrae in the cervical spine. Moving on, blah, blah, blah. Bear seemed vibrant and happy. Sorry, this is my first time looking at this too, so I want to see this. Okay. So this doesn't make any sense. So USA Today learned the dog that perished in the Hackman home was actually Xena, a 12-year-old reddish Australian Kelpie mixed breed who had once trained in agility skills to compete at the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show. So this dog got hops. Let's not forget that too. So this dog, Xena can jump. Xena can jump. Okay. Her body was found in a closed crate in the home, according to Joey Padilla, who took the surviving dogs to his facility, Santa Fe Tails. So again, police continue to look into details of and causes behind the demise of both. Okay, they were discovered in separate rooms. It's okay. Advanced signs of decomposition, probably from being gone for more than a week. As investigators try to establish a cause of demise, the movie actor and his wife, their misidentification of Xena could raise doubts about their parts in their investigation. Yeah. In their affidavit for a search warrant, sheriff's investigators said deputies continued to search the residence where they then found deceased brown color German Shepherd canine. Details of the affidavit were reported by the media, leading friends to believe Bear had passed away. Okay, so moving on. It's unclear how the dog was misidentified in this report. The U.S. Today contacted a spokesperson for the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office, who's leading the investigation. She said she hadn't heard of the mistaken dog identity. She said investigators may have just misidentified the breed. Our deputies do not deal with canines on a daily basis, and I cannot currently speak on the condition and or state of the dog's body upon discovery. So they also informed USA Today that it was Xena, not Bear, who was found in the home. Okay, moving on. Blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to see where else. Okay, so that sparked, I guess, this relationship with her dogs. I guess Arakawa would bring her dogs into Gabber's Santa Fe practice every few weeks to get them adjusted. The two also would meet for dinner or go shopping around town. Blah blah blah. So again, let me see. Dog trapping at the Padilla, who took care of and trained the couple's dogs over the years, got the call Wednesday afternoon. It was the handyman who had first discovered the bodies. The worker who had done jobs for Hackman in the past asked Padilla if he could come retrieve the surviving dogs. So again, it's like, wait a second, are they mistakenly saying something wrong here? Okay. But the pup was actually alive and healthy. So I guess, or maybe they're saying like afterwards then, like this is where Bear is now, that he's at this pet daycare center. Because again, it wouldn't make any sense for them to say that, right? So again, it's just so odd. Okay, but moving on. The thing is that for them to have the breed of dog mixed up, I think is a very, very big deal. Because at the end of the day, let's be real, devil's in the details. And it would just take 2 seconds to find out, hey, talking to the Joey Padilla, for example, who allegedly has the dogs and the other two German Shepherds or the other two dogs in his possession right now. It takes 2 seconds to ask him, hey, there's another dog in here. It's not Bear. It's somebody else. It's another dog. Who could that be? Oh, yeah, it could be X, Y, and Z, right? It must be Xena, right? But then they said here too, which is also very interesting. Also very, very interesting. I got to find it again because I kind of blazed through that really quick. What the heck did they say that? Misidentified the breed. Nah. Hold on. I'm looking for it, guys. Hold on. Where the heck is it? Where the heck is it? They said something about it being in a closed cage. I remember saying that and going, wait a second. See, that's interesting information, right? Because it seems weird that they wouldn't say where the dog was, like if the dog was in a kennel or if he was in locked in a closet in the bathroom. Why wouldn't they just say that information, right? It just doesn't make any sense. But hold on, let me see. It was somewhere up here. That's going to drive me crazy now. That's going to drive me crazy. Hold on. I mean, I just read it, but they did say that that Xena was actually locked in its kennel. So again, it's very. I just think that's very interesting because that also says something. That also says something about the situation that maybe they perished. There it is. Found it. I found it. Let me highlight this really quick. So, excuse me. USA Today learned that the dog that perished in the Hackman home. Was actually Xena, a 12-year-old reddish Australian Kelpie mixed breed who had once trained in agility skills to compete in the Westminster Kennel Club dog show. Her body was found in a closed crate in the home. The last piece, let me make myself a little bit smaller so you guys can see the whole thing. In a closed crate in the home. So again, that's very interesting too. Now, again, I think if that's the case, that changes my theory a little bit, right? If that is actually true. But the kennel was actually closed. So there is a good possibility that, I mean, either it's two different things. It's two different things. Either Xena got locked up, and God only knows what time this was, right? When everything happened. You got to remember, you don't know what time this whole thing happened. This could have been first thing in the morning. Maybe first thing in the morning, he was found. He was discovered gone, right? And I'm just saying on with my theory, what my theory is, right? The other two dogs were gone. That one was outside. I guess one was still next to her, being found next to her. Okay, but I guess now they're at a pet daycare now with Joey Padilla, this Joey Padilla guy. Okay. But still, what's interesting is I feel like maybe it was first thing in the morning. Maybe she was in the middle of opening, up the crates, getting everybody out, their good mornings, letting them go outside and roam, in the backyard or whatever. And then she went into the mudroom and found Jean. And then, of course, she had the reaction, maybe she just forgot to let Xena out. But then also, sometimes people will discipline their dogs. Sometimes dogs will do bad things and go, hey, you need to, you know, go to your crate, right? Bad dog, go to your crate, right? Maybe that's what it was. And then she locked him up, and then all bad things happened after that. I don't know. It just seems very odd that the crate, at least in this report, the crate was actually closed. And I think that that's very odd, right? But maybe she did. That's the other thing too. Renee, you ain't wrong with that too, with that theory. Maybe she did lock him up just so she can go and take care of Jean, right? And then of course, something bad happened, right? Yeah, Nick, literally. It's like, yo, bad dog, go to your crate. You know what I mean? And that could be it too. Maybe they were out there acting a fool. Maybe Xena was acting a fool a little bit. And maybe her, the energy was a little bit too big, too much. And then she said, go to your crate, locked him up, and then turned back around, and then bang, right? Now, Sandwich, but wasn't he trained? I mean, I'm assuming he was trained, but also you got to remember, Xena has been returned. He's a return sheltered dog. What does that tell you? That tells you that maybe the dog was, a little rambunctious. Just because he's trained doesn't mean that he's still not going to go and do things. Still doesn't mean that he's not going to be a dog, right? Just because he's trained doesn't mean that he's going to be that obedient. He's still a dog. I got 4 dogs, so I understand, right? I got very well-trained dogs, but shoot, sometimes they don't act like they're well-trained. I'm just saying, okay? So, again, it's possible, right? Because, again, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter the time that this happened, right? Because, again, if Xena was locked up, right? If Xena was locked up, maybe, Xena was locked up because she was acting a fool. Or maybe she needed more time to focus on. Maybe Betsy needed more time to focus on Jean, because we still don't know if there was any, like, if she went out of her way, to do any life preserving procedures or anything like that, try to perform CPR on him or anything of that sort, or if she just found him and freaked out and ran into the bathroom. I don't know, but it is very interesting. Or here's the other theory I have in my mind too. She goes, and these are all theories, and all of them are probably 110% wrong, but we're going to exercise it for just a second. Say it's the morning, afternoon, or evening. It doesn't really matter. All we know is that they have been gone for weeks before they were found, okay? Almost 2 weeks before they were actually found. But just hear me on this theory. This is another theory I have regarding the dog, regarding Xena. Maybe, whatever, it's maybe the morning, afternoon, whenever this happens. She walks into the entryway, finds Jean on the floor. Of course, understandably, she freaks out. She goes into the bathroom. Or she sees him, freaks out. Xena, I'm sure, being a rambunctious and hyperactive dog, very active dog, may have been on her. Maybe she's a really, like, always trying to put her paws on her, you know what I mean? Just very, very, a very, what's the word? Energetic dog. So she sits there and is like, you know what I mean? Xena, okay. And she puts her in the the kennel and locks her up because it's just like, it's just too much all at the same time. Yes, rambunctious, exactly. Rambunctious. Thank you, Sandwich. Okay. Rambunctious, very, very energetic dog, right? So she may have been like, I'm putting you in the kennel. I need to think. I need to think. I need to think. You know what I mean? It may have been that thing. I don't have time to talk. I don't have time for you, Xena. I need to think, right? And then, of course, pills, and then she passes away. Dog's locked up, so dog can't do anything, right? And then dog passes from starvation, dehydration, you name it. I mean, the dog's locked up for weeks. So of course that would happen, right? So maybe that's what happened here. Maybe. Again, I could be 100,000 times wrong. I don't have all the answers. I don't have any of the answers, right? We're just waxing possibilities, right? But it is very interesting nonetheless, this whole thing that has gone down. And of course, the fact that the cops got misidentified the dogs is a big deal. Because again, like I said before, the devil's in the details. If they can't get that piece right, what else did they get wrong? If they got that part mixed up, what else could they have possibly mixed up? Just saying. Because again, if the dog, I mean, the only other thing I can think of is she goes into the bathroom after finding Jean, and she's just overwhelmed with emotion and basically having a full-on panic attack. She pulls out the pills. She tries to get some out. And in this wave of emotion, the pills start like falling all over the floor, all over the countertop. And maybe the dog's like, ooh, food. And just goes for it. Just starts licking up the pills. And she's like, what? No. And then puts them in the kennel. Right? You know, and that's the other thing too, Susie. Susie Q is like, you know, they said that there was no physical trauma to the bodies. None. So it's not like there was any sort of blunt force trauma, no GSWs like the pew wounds, no sharp objects, you know, puncture wounds, if you will. Nothing of that. Okay? Nothing of that was found. Nothing was found like that. So again, it makes you wonder what the hell is really going on here, because they just pass away. They both pass away on the same day or around the same day. That doesn't make any sense. One thing that would make sense is carbon monoxide poisoning. That would definitely make sense. But police, who are also misidentifying dogs and everything, are saying that there was no carbon monoxide poisoning, which makes no sense. And then it's like, okay, like I said before, it's like, what is this, Final Destination? Like two people just pass away at the same time because of some strange series of events? That doesn't make any sense. To me, it would be carbon monoxide poisoning, or it would be what I just said, right? That suddenly he passes, she freaks out, and she passes. Or we can even flip it. We can even flip the script. We can even flip the situation real quick. Okay? We can even flip the script. She passes away. He finds her. He freaks out. Has a heart attack. That's possible. We can flip the script. But Joel, they have ruled out carbon monoxide. But at the same time, devil's in the details. Maybe there is something that they overlooked. Maybe there is something that they didn't see. like I said, I'm going to keep repeating this again. Let me just make this abundantly clear. I repeat, I do not see any foul play in this mother lover. Not at all. If anything, this was self and natural, or natural and self. That's the only thing I can see. I mean, like I said, I just don't see it, to me, from what the reports have said so far about Betsy, what they have said about Betsy, they have been saying how much she loved this man and how she did everything she could to keep this man alive. So she doesn't seem like the type, real talk, to just suddenly be the one to go out on her own terms. I don't see that. But I still will leave it on the table because anything is possible. But I think it's the other way around. But you can play both sides of the spectrum here, because we ain't got nothing so far. We got no information so far. And then the other thing too is, like, yes, Miss Terry singer. Yeah, they were saying, oh, maybe it was food. Maybe there was food. They're rummaging through through their trash to see if there was any poisonous foods in the trash. I don't think it's that. I really don't. Poisonous food? What poisonous food? What poisonous food, y'all? So again, I'm very curious about this. We got more though. All right, let's take a look at this. There is a statement from the gas company. All right, so the gas company issues fresh statement revealing results from probe, which is also very interesting. Let's take a look at this. There's a gas company aiding in the investigation into the demise of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy, discovered a minuscule leak, which we read earlier, a minuscule leak in their Santa Fe home, but has determined it not to be lethal. I mean, the place would have to be absolutely airtight. No air moving through that place at all, pretty much, for it to, and then of course the whole place would have to gather, you know what I mean? Accumulate with that carbon monoxide for it to even be remotely lethal, y'all. So they're even saying this ain't lethal. So what the hell is this? Of course, we already found out that they were both found gone. They were in separate rooms and all that. This is not carbon. I really don't think it's carbon monoxide poisoning. His family will sit there and say it's carbon monoxide poisoning, but I really don't think it is. Okay. Early speculation by his daughter. Okay. Hugh, I keep on saying Hugh Jackman, Gene Hackman. You see what I'm saying? Okay. But Gene Hackman's daughter, okay, Elizabeth Jean, was this is what they said, okay, early speculation that it had to do with some sort of carbon monoxide poisoning. And I believe that that's everybody's theory. I think we all thought that, right? They all thought that. Instantly, we all thought, oh, maybe it is toxic fumes. Maybe they were in that place and, they're older, they don't know. Maybe they don't have a carbon monoxide alarm in there. So if there is carbon monoxide going on, it goes off and all that stuff, right? But they still are saying that this was a minor leak. And I read this to you guys before in another article, but we're going to repeat it again. The gas company did, however, issue 5 red flags, including one for the minor leak at the stove burner, which registered a 0.03% gas in the air and is not a lethal amount. The other 4 red flags were for code enforcement violations, not involving gas leaks or carbon monoxide, involving a water heater and gas log lighters installed in 3 fireplaces. Authorities believe Hugh Jackman and his wife, okay. Okay. that they passed a couple weeks ago before they were actually found. They say that his pacemaker revealed that he was alive on February 17th, and that was when the last event was recorded, 9 days before their bodies were actually found. Okay. Police say it's a reasonable assumption that he passed away when his pacemaker had not had its last event. So again, I'm still sticking to what I believe to be true. Of course, we still don't know. We're still waiting on some sort of, I don't know, trying to get some sort of information like the autopsy and all that, because my understanding is that the autopsy is indeed done. But we're still waiting to hear about that. I'm going to take a look at that with you guys in a second, but I do want to play this from Good Morning America real quick. Let's take a look at this.
Details on the investigation into the suspicious death of Gene Hackman and his wife. Officials appearing to rule out one possible explanation for what happened at the couple's New Mexico home. Trevor Ault joins us with more. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Michael. So this has been a mystery that's confounded investigators and really the entire world for a week now, since Gene Hackman, his wife, and one of their dogs were all found dead at their Santa Fe home. And the simplest potential explanation of carbon monoxide poisoning seems to be less and less likely.
This morning, new details deepening the mystery in the now week-long investigation into the suspicious deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa. The New Mexico gas company confirming extensive testing at the couple's home found no traces of carbon monoxide, only finding a minuscule gas leak in the stove far below a lethal amount.
Yeah, again, far below a lethal amount. So how could it be carbon monoxide poisoning if there was not a lethal amount? You see what I'm saying? So again, it just doesn't make any earthly sense for this all to be like, oh, it's carbon monoxide poisoning. That's what it is. May they rest their souls. May they rest in peace. It's carbon monoxide. I don't think that it's the case. But I also don't think that this is foul play. But again, anything's possible. If they were getting the smallest things messed up about a dog, there's a possibility they can get a few other things wrong too. All right, that's for sure.
Okay, are they moving at all?
No, dude, they're not moving. Just send somebody out here really quick.
The couple was found dead inside the home last Wednesday. The search warrant saying Hackman was in the mudroom, appearing to have suddenly fallen. Arakawa was on the floor of the bathroom. An open orange prescription bottle had pills scattered on the countertop. Investigators say data from Hackman's pacemaker indicates he likely died 9 days before they were found.
An autopsy was performed. Initial findings noted no external trauma to either individual.
No external trauma on either individual. No external trauma. So I know everybody's like, maybe she tripped and bumped her head. That would have been seen in the autopsy, in the initial first glance of her. They would have been like, oh, we see bruising on the top of her head or something of that sort. Or there would be a trail of blood around her or something like that. If it was a vicious blow to the head, right? There was no trauma seen on any of the bodies. That's massive. And then it's wild to me that, and oh man, this is another crazy possibility. Let me just rock this other possibility. I know this. I know we're looking at a million. I feel like Doctor Strange. Okay, in Endgame, or the movie before Endgame. I forgot the name of the movie. With Thanos and everything. Where he's looking at a million different possibilities. He goes and repeats everything just to see what they can do to beat Thanos. They only had one possibility that could happen, right? That could work to beat Thanos, right? Out of 14 million different scenarios, he found one. Okay? Now, so I feel kind of like that. It's like, okay, well, there's this possibility too. He had a heart attack. He lost his life. She found him. She had a heart attack. And maybe that prescription pills that were right next to her were for her. I don't know. Like I said, it just out of shock, out of grief. I don't know. Again, I don't know, guys. Like I said, there are so many different possibilities. I believe my original theory is she found him. It crushed her. She found him gone. It crushed her. She, I'm sure, could not think about life without him at that moment. And then she did what she did. That's my theory. Hence the pills all over the ground. But like I said, it could be wrong, you know? And yes, of course, they both had health issues for sure. But again, it does make you wonder what's really going on here and what actually went down. But do me a favor, guys, real quick, before we continue on, hit that like button down below, please. And thank you. I see a bunch of y'all in here. I appreciate you guys being here, spending some time with little old me. I appreciate it. Okay. Can we get it to 800 likes? That's all I ask. Okay. A like don't cost a thing. It helps the show. It helps this platform. It helps this story get out there. If you can, that'd be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. Of course, we're keeping an eye on this whole thing with Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. And the possibilities are still endless. And it's frustrating because I know some people, well, you know, there are people out here that will sit there and go, well, this is what happened. And that's how it happened, because I said so. And it's like, well, we don't know everything yet. We don't have all the information yet. So let's just chill and let's see what happens. But it's okay to think about the other possibilities, right? It's okay to talk about them. Just understand that there's other possibilities, because nothing has been laid out yet. We still have no evidence. This autopsy, toxicology reports that will eventually come out, all that information, when it does drop, man, it's going to be like, oh, so that's what happened. Oh, snap. That's what's going to happen. Literally. There's going to be some sort of chemical found in one of them that initially says, oh, this is what happened and this is not what happened. Wait for it. You know what I mean? It'll be coming out soon enough. But Ellie Mae, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Rianne, thank you so much for gifting one membership. Tipsy, thank you so much for gifting one. Kimberly in Japan, what up? Thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Mora, wow. Thank you so much for gifting 5 more memberships. I really do appreciate it. That's 12 new members in the family. Thank you so much, guys. Welcome to the family, all 12 of you guys. All I ask is all those beautiful people gave you guys something very positive, like memberships. All right, please do me a favor, pay it forward. Okay, open the door for somebody, do something nice for somebody today. All right, because there's somebody out there that would really appreciate it, I'm sure. All right, pay it forward if you can. Kimberly in Japan, again, thank you so much for being a member for over 2 years now. Thank you so much. Sorry for my absence. It's okay. We always hear them. All right. Family issues and work are hitting really hard these days, but always watching the replays, sending lots of love. Thank you so much. And I hope you're okay. All right. This too shall pass. I know we all go through some really crappy times, but remember, this too shall pass. All right. Mimi, stay strong out there. And everybody else who's having some crappy days, just stay strong out there. All right. Just stay strong out there. Mimi, thank you so much. I appreciate the super sticker as well. Thank you so very much. All right. But let's continue on. No external trauma seen on the bodies. And that is for sure.
The manner and cause of death has not been determined.
One of the couple's dogs was also found dead inside a kennel about 10 feet away from Arakawa. 2 other dogs at the home survived. Investigators now clarifying confusion over which dog had died. Initially saying it was one of the couple's German Shepherds, now saying it was a different dog, an Australian Kelpie mix. But the causes of death still undetermined and no signs of any foul play. Authorities are now examining cell phones, medicine, and medical records found at the scene, hoping to recreate a timeline. Full autopsies and the toxicology reports are now underway, but those results could be weeks away.
Yep. And again, we still have nothing, which is very frustrating, right? There's not a whole lot of information out there because everything is basically resting, excuse me, in the hands of law enforcement. And, you know, hold on. And when all that comes out, this may be a completely different situation, right? Hold on. I'm going to grab the poisonous food theory for a second, okay? But I truly believe this has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with carbon monoxide poisoning. And I think we all can rest. I think we all can rest on that, right? Or at least put that theory to rest. That's just my thoughts on that. I think that this is not carbon monoxide poisoning. This has to do with something natural and possibly something not natural, but not foul play, right? But again, let's continue. This is intriguing new Gene Hackman theory, all right? So let's get straight into it. Toxicology, there could have been some type of poisoning, possibly food. They'll go through their trash fridge. This is stuff the police can do in the meantime while gathering evidence. And this is what a former FBI agent said, Bill Daly, I think, told Fox News, okay? There are a number of possibilities. Now, again, poisonous food? Like I said, if there was poisonous food, then that would lean more on the side of the possibility of foul play, in my personal opinion. But poisonous food, what could they eat? Like that could be poisonous in their refrigerator that they wouldn't know is not good for them to eat. You see what I'm saying? Like bad food, you know it's bad food. You can smell it a mile away if it's bad food. You know, what, they eat bad sushi at home? You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. Do they eat bad fish in the crib? But you could smell that stuff from a mile. Ooh, that smells bad. Ooh, throw that away. You know what I mean? So what could they have possibly eaten that was poisonous? Exactly, the truth, Jagan. Okay? Food poisoning that takes them both out? Hell yeah, that would be foul play. Then I would be like, yeah, that's foul play, man. Right? But again, what could they have eaten that would make them react in this way? Right? It just doesn't make any sense, guys. Jane, thank you so much for love. I appreciate it. Why wasn't 911 called if Gene was unwell? That's a very good question, too. There's two different factors. One, he was already, and of course, I am just playing out scenarios. All of what I'm saying could be wrong. But let's just think about this for a second. Maybe she just knew. I mean, he's 95. If she found him gone, she's just reacting at the fact that he's gone. And then remember, maybe she didn't call 911 because she's freaking out. She's still in disbelief. She's still distraught by seeing the love of her life gone. So maybe she ran into wherever she was running into, panicked, like, what am I going to do without him type thing. I know that sounds terrible, but that could very well be what it is. He's 95. Remember that. He's 95. And maybe by the time she found him, it was too late. There's also the other thing, too, you know, maybe there was a do not resuscitate type situation, but that wouldn't make any sense. I feel like no matter what, instantly you'd call 911, right? I think that what happened here is she had a reaction and it was all emotional. She was not in her logical mind. Everything was emotional. Remember, she was doing everything she could to keep him on this planet for as long as she could. And apparently she was doing a great job at it. He was on a very strict diet. He was on a strict exercise regimen. I mean, he was doing yoga and all different types of things. Like, she was doing everything she could to keep this man on this planet. So then when she found him gone. There was no coming back from it. And God knows how long he was laying there for, if that is the scenario. So again, terrible, right? Rianne, thank you so much for the love. Appreciate it. Love this Pascal's Rascals. Okay, family, so much. We love you too, sweetheart. Just wanted to say it has made such a difference in my personal life too. Cheers, P, and all blessings. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I really do. That warms my heart a lot. Thank you. Kimberly in Japan, thank you again so much for the love. All the way in Japan, thank you. Thanks, Pascal. I really needed that empowerment. Of course. That's what we're here for, too. Not only are we here talking about all this crazy stuff, okay? We're here to talk about, we're here almost every single day. So, of course, we got to talk about other things other than just gloom and doom. I got to sprinkle a little positivity in our lives because all we talk about is gloom and doom. Oh, my God. You know what I mean? So, of course, we got to bring a little bit of levity into the conversation. If we can't do that, then that doesn't sound like to me, that's not a show I'd want to watch. You know what I'm saying? That's not a show I want to watch. Yes, we still talk about yes, I want the show to cover the things that are going on in the world, which is a lot of negative stuff. But at the same time, I still want to leave with some little inkling of positivity, right? Don't you agree? Not like, oh God, the world's going down in a barrel of burning cat piss. You know what I'm saying? Like every day is that reminder, by the way. Every single day is that reminder. So I would hope that you come to this show, yes, not only getting that constant reminder of the barrel of burning cat piss, but at the same time, just knowing that, hey, there's beyond that, there's some really great stuff, right? There's a lot of great stuff in the world. And yes, life can be really crappy sometimes, but we're going to get through it. Yes, Tyler. It is a dumpster fire. The world is a dumpster fire right now. And it's technicolor. It's not just, a little bit orange and white hot. It's all these crazy colors. And we're all just watching it in awe and going, wow, oh my God. This is 2025, everybody. This is 2020. Oh my God. Whoo! You know what I mean? So, Church of Pascal, I'm done. I am done. But yeah, that's what we're here for. Talk about all this stuff and hold hands and hopefully crack a joke or two and lather, rinse, repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. Okay. But let's continue on. We got more. We're going to hold on real quick before we go into that. Let me just grab these really quick. S-Dubs, thank you so much for the love. Even the DNR, you do not always call 911. You can directly call a coroner. Good point. Or a hospice, the nurse. Or on a hospice, the nurse. Sorry. 911 if you want to revive them. But at 95? Yeah, like I said, it's 95. And I'm not sitting here saying like she walked in and she's like, well, he's 95. It was a life well lived and just walked away. Hell no. I'm sure it was, oh my God, what the hell happened here? I don't know what the hell. I don't know what to do. Right. But at the same time, he's 95. So he gone. So, but then it makes you wonder, what was the call log, right? What was the call history on the phone? Did she go over? Because that's still a possibility. She could have gone over and called somebody. We've never heard anything about that too. She could have called somebody. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm just saying, if it was the case where he passed away first. Oh my gosh. Well, and calling up somebody and saying, oh my gosh, what happened? So on and so forth. I need help. But that's not what we've seen so far. We haven't heard anything about any phone calls being made to anyone. So again, it's very interesting. Soybean, thank you so much for being a member for 20 months. Appreciate you. Good morning, y'all, and thanks to Pascal for the hard work. Like and subscribe. Yes, don't forget to like and subscribe, but I appreciate you, Soybean. Of course, without you guys, I'd just be talking to a wall, like I always say. All right. But again, this is a very interesting one. It's very odd. Is it foul play? No, I don't think so. But it is interesting that people are coming up with their own theories. This we got to talk about. Like I said, there was a few little articles that came out over time talking about certain things, especially the theory of maybe this was a companion, like a joint unaliving, for lack of a better term. I don't think it's a joint. I think it's a solo. And I think it's only solely because of a reaction to one of their demises. That's what I think, right? So mystery continues to swirl, which we already know, around their passings. All right, let's move on. Looked like both of them had been gone for days. Okay, authorities have since launched an investigation into what happens to the couple who had been married since 1991. I mean, good-looking couple. They look very happy. Like I said, they were very much in love. They had that old love, y'all. Decades together. That's amazing, right? And I could see somebody going, this is all I've ever known. I can see that happening. But joint? I don't think so. So, James Gill, chief medical examiner with the Connecticut Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, is not investigating the demise in his professional capacity, but he offered insight into the tragedy to two people, the article we're reading here, theorizing that a joint, what's the word? A joint unaliving. Okay. Where they pass away together, they're saying is unlikely, and I agree 100%. Okay. I've seen cases like that. Usually they're together in bed. The fact that they're in two separate locations tells me I think that's less likely. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? What would they have taken that would make them suddenly go, ooh, I got to get up and run? It doesn't make sense. If they were to say, hey, we're going to stay sleeping in the bed, we're going to go together in the bed together. Let's just say that. Why would they suddenly both get up out of the bed and start and run to different parts of the home if it was a pact that they made? I don't think that. And I agree with this particular medical examiner. From the initial kind of circumstances, it seems like he may have collapsed. He's got a history of heart disease. He's got a pacemaker. So that would not be unusual. And the fact that he's ambulatory, that I think is important too. Because sometimes we'll see instances where someone is bedridden and maybe they have dementia, and then their caretaker passes from a natural event, and then there's no one there to take care of them. And then they can pass away from dehydration or what have you. I don't think that is the case. Okay? I don't think that that's the case in this. So he's not sitting here saying, oh, like maybe she passed away and he didn't know what to do with himself. Right? He couldn't fend for himself. He could not do what he needed to do to take care of himself. But then at the same time, I don't know his mental capacity as well. Okay. We don't know if he had dementia. We don't know if he had any sort of mental, maybe we don't know if he was in mental decline or anything of that sort. We don't know if he was slowly slipping into senility. We don't know any of that. All we know is that he had heart issues and that he was 95 years old. So it is still, again, if he was to find her in the bathroom gone, and then days later, because he doesn't know how to take care of himself, he passes, I just don't see that scenario either. I just don't. Okay. Gil says there's different types of pacemakers and defibrillators, okay? Some of which can shock the heart if needed, and newer models often have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth to record irregular rhythms, which help determine the time of demise, which is what I think he had. Let's be real. He is Gene Hackman. I'm sure he's got more than enough money. He's living in a $3.8 million home. Nice spread, by the way. Holy crap. Nice spread. So I could see him having one of the most up-to-date pacemakers out there. Okay. And again, how he was found, what was the, what position he was in when he was found, all that stuff. I mean, there's a lot. Like I said, I think he fell because his heart gave out. I think it was natural for him. Okay. What's the time of his demise related to his wife? When did she pass away? That's a little bit of more gray area, I think. Absolutely. Because again, he may have passed and then she didn't know what to do with herself. She may have lost her mind, didn't know what to do, and just sat there for a day. You never know. She could have passed a day or two later. You never know. Like, she just could not fathom the idea of giving a call to family, friends, media, whatever she needed to do to let everybody know the man and the love of her life is gone now. You see what I'm saying? We don't know what time she passed. All we know is that last shock or last recording from that actual pacemaker was 10 days before he was actually found. She could have been there for a whole day, 3 days. It could have been a doggone week. You never know. With her just not knowing what to do with herself. That's still possible. But you also got to remember how she was found and how, as they said, the mummification of her hands and feet, right, says something as well. So it means that she was gone for a while too. The decomposition on her body says a lot as well. So if she passed away just days before they found them, there wouldn't be some mummification. There wouldn't be some decomposition on her body as severe as what they're saying it would be. You see what I'm saying? So she must have reacted quickly, if my theory is correct. All right. So I think the dog could have easily be explained by just not getting enough food and water, and they can survive for a week or so without food and water. 2 other dogs were found alive and are currently being cared for by a family friend. Hackman and his wife were found by a pest control worker who stopped by the house. When the couple didn't answer, he called a neighborhood security officer who saw the bodies through the window and called 911. So again, the fact that this could be a joint attempt, I just don't see it. I personally don't. But again, anything is possible when it comes to this whole thing. I'm just going to play a little bit of this here. Here's a little news clip.
Office and the Santa Fe Fire Department holding a press conference just about 2 hours ago. They tell us Gene Hackman may have been dead for about 10 days or so. So according to Sheriff Adan Mendoza, the last event on Hackman's cardiac monitor is on February 17th. We asked him if it's right to assume that's the day Hackman may have died. He told us yes. The Hackmans lived in a private life, a private residence, and did not have surveillance cameras inside or outside of their home. The sheriff saying this investigation could take a while, but they have ruled out now carbon monoxide after talking to the metal investigator around 2 o'clock this afternoon. We did ask the fire chief if any other gases in a home could have a similar effect of carbon monoxide. This is what he told us.
So we have our meters do multiple readings across multiple spectrums. I won't go into that details, but none of our meters picked up anything in the house. So all of our meters were 0 across the board. And so that was clearly done. And that was mostly for our safety too, was the sheriff's department was there for a long time. The fire department was there for a long time. We wanted to make sure our people were safe and there was no hazards in the room.
That's Fire Chief Brian Moya speaking to us today. He tells us they checked the home twice and found no signs of any leaks there. Now, officials have not ruled the cause of death, the official cause of death just yet. They are waiting on autopsies and official toxicology reports on both bodies as well. We are told, and we do know from the search warrant, that the bodies had signs of mummification. The fire chief telling us it takes about 2 weeks for bodies to show signs of that.
2 weeks. 2 weeks to show signs of on the bodies of that kind of stuff on the bodies. So even that question of, well, when she passed away, she must have passed away very quickly after he passed, or vice versa. Like I said, there's still a possibility that he found her. Her heart could have given out, and then he found her, and then he had a panic attack because she was gone, and then he passed away. Like I said, possibilities are still there, but I don't see it that way. I see it the other way around. I do. But still, crazy information, guys. Of course, we're going to keep an eye on this as much as we can. Of course, there still are no full answers to this whole situation. We still do not know what actually happened here. I'm sure with the autopsy and toxicology reports, I'm sure there's going to be more information that's going to be said, and we're going to know more of a timeline through that, because they'll know the time of their passing. They'll know, oh, okay, he passed first and then she passed, or she passed and then he passed. They'll know at least that. But foul play, I don't think so. I don't see foul play in this situation. They definitely do not see anything in regards to carbon monoxide poisoning. But like I said, for them to make that small little mistake, it's a major mistake, especially when you're doing investigations like this. Because then it's like, if you could do an oversight like this, what else can you oversee? What else are you letting slide by? The devil is in the details. And I can't stress that enough. The devil is most definitely in the details. And I'm hoping that this situation, them making these mistakes, these, it's the little things that add up, right? So I'm hoping that them getting on their stuff and taking accountability for this mistake, I'm hoping that they're just revisiting the case and getting whatever they need to get taken care of, stitched up, so that these kind of mistakes never happen again. Because that's a bad mistake, guys. It really is. But anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of the conversation. We got more stuff coming, so make sure you have that notification bell set, okay? Make sure that notification bell's on, all right? Because there's going to be a lot going on here over the next couple days, all right? And it's only Wednesday. My God, it's only Wednesday, but the news is newsing out here, y'all, and there's a lot to talk about. So we are going to be talking a lot over the next couple days, okay? So do me a favor. Hit that like button on the way out, all right? Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Make sure you are subscribed. You follow me on my other platforms, but make sure you're subscribed here. Make sure you're subscribed to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Please and thank you. Subscribe. Do not forget that, okay? And make sure that notification bell is set to all, okay? We are talking about a bunch of different things. It's a cornucopia of all kinds of new stuff going on. So make sure, on both channels, by the way. So make sure you know what's going on and you're tuned in to the show. All right. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. All right. And of course, do not forget, check out PascalMerch.com. I'm telling you right now, we got some really great stuff, baby. And I know for a fact you're going to find something you're going to love over there. So make sure you check out PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. We'll be talking very, very soon. There's going to be a lot of content coming out on both platforms, on both channels. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have that notification hit so you know when I'm going and uploading. All right. But anyway, guys, it's time to get going. If there's more information, I'll let you guys know very, very soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.